got the need for speed. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. Let's go!
Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. I'm Mason Quinn. That's the Appleton Oak. This is Diamond Dave Damone, and over there's the answer. Guys, we just came out of Top Gun Maverick, and let me tell you, it was incredible. First off, I got to give a big shout out to John C. over here at Valley Grand Cinemas for taking care of us. John, you're the man. We got to do something with you later. Now, on to the movie. I thought it was absolutely incredible, guys. The stunts, the homage to the original, everything was absolute perfection. I think the only thing that I could compare this with was Mad Max Fury Road, and that was just based on the stunts. It didn't have the emotion, it didn't have the storyline. Top Gun Maverick had it, guys. Incredible perfection.
Oh, yeah, my wife and I watched the original on Friday, and it was just great to see all the callbacks, just the little things like the Budweiser beer. But otherwise, other than that, I just loved every aspect of it. It had the emotion. It had all the stunts. It had great flying, and a lot of it was, done by them, which was amazing. One of my favorite parts of it, though, was watching Diamond Dave here get so animated and involved in it. He loved the movie so much. It was great watching that, too. It really was. I loved it. So I would say it's a must-watch.
So for me, obviously you're going to bring it home because we know you got a lot to say here. But for me, oh my God. As much as I want to say I've been waiting since 1986, for me it's been basically the early 90s. As much as I can remember as a little kid. This movie had everything from the fan service to nostalgia to keeping it fresh with today. All the actors did phenomenal. The crew that was involved with this movie, holy crap, you guys did awesome. Tom Cruise,
he delivers, as always.
Seriously, dude, way to bring it in this one. With the story, I was not ready for how emotional this shit was gonna get. Guys, talk about roller coaster. We were on, at least I was on a roller coaster. I don't know about these guys, but I was on a roller coaster. We're trying our hardest not to give any spoilers about anything. So if I were to wrap this up in 2 words, and yes, I will bleep this, 2 words for this movie, wonderful.
Miles Teller, amazing.
When you went to high school in the 90s, I was a little young when it came out, about 7 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But by the time you're in high school in the 90s, Top Gun's still very much a date movie. Now, when I was going to high school in the late 90s and Blockbuster Video was still a thing, the original Top Gun was the most rented movie of all time at the time, and for good reason, because it was absolutely epic. Look, if you were a 17-year-old kid and the Berlin Take My Breath scene away came around and you weren't rounding third base, there was something wrong. So, I think high school kids now are probably a little bit beyond using Top Gun as a date movie, but when I was in high school, it was, like I said, if you were a teenage boy who had a date over, Top Gun was your go-to, and it was usually a solid home run.
But she wanted the Need for Speed.
So there's a lot of sentimental, nostalgic that I had with this movie. Now, coming into the movie, and, I already posted a short review of mine, just how amazing I thought it was on Facebook. And I think a lot of people were really nervous, right? Because you have such high expectations. And so often we see follow-ups or sequels to movies that we absolutely loved just drop the ball or not live up to the expectations. And people are legitimately nervous about seeing this movie just because of the fact, how can it live up to the original? And I'm telling you, it's better than the original. These guys have already said, and we're not going to do spoilers, but it pays homage to the original in all the perfect ways. One thing I wasn't expecting, which Dave already brought up, is how powerful from an emotion standpoint that this film is. It's not just an action movie. It's very emotional. It takes you up and down and inside and out, and it's really just an incredible movie all around. Andrew brought up the action scenes.
Top.
You know, you go back and watch Top Gun in 1986, and there were some great action scenes with flying. You know, they were out there. The Navy was very involved with actually letting them use their planes. So we got great action scenes. Now you fast forward 36 years later, and imagine the type of cinematography that we're capable of. They put every bit of that into this movie. So the plot is incredible. The way they pull at your emotions, the throwbacks to the original is incredible. The action is absolutely mind-blowing, and from beginning to end, every minute in between. And I know this is super cliche, but absolutely has you on the edge of your seat. And you know how we are in our reactions where I mean that's how people were in the theaters.
Yeah, it was loud.
The clapping at the end, and you know we love doing our reactions for you guys, and so you know we purposely avoid going to some of these big hits. This was one that we didn't want to avoid. We wanted to see in the theaters, and I just cannot overemphasize the importance of going and seeing this in a theater. There are some movies like, hey, look, you know, if you order it on Amazon and watch it in your pajamas at your house, cool. This is not one of those movies. You want to be in the theater. You want to have the immersive sound. It was loud in the theater.
It was fantastic.
It was
sound.
real loud, and that's how we wanted it to be. We were like, man, I hope this is loud. The jets flying by and stuff like that. So I put on my Facebook page, and I honestly mean this. To me, this is the best movie of all time. I'm dead serious. I think when you talk about action, adventure, emotion, and look, somebody who's 25 who doesn't have, you know, the nostalgia and the emotional tie back to the original might not feel the same way. But for me, this is the best movie ever, and not just because like, oh, you know, I love my 80s, which you guys know that I do. I think that if you watched the first one yesterday and came back and watched this one, you could still appreciate that. So to me, absolutely mind blown. Had full body chills through half the movie. There's so many parts that they dropped in where they hit you with it and you're like, oh my god,
roller coaster,
like
dude.
Very
so
roller coaster. Very.
Again, for me, this is the movie. I'm always using Shawshank as my benchmark for quality movies. It's not as good as Shawshank. Top Gun Maverick, to me, best movie ever.
Since you think it's the best movie, you start off
The
with the ratings.
easiest 5 out of 5 answers I've ever given. I know we could do like 6, but then you start jumping into a hole. Why not make it 10?
Yeah.
Hands
Come on,
down,
Meltzer.
5 out of 5 answers all day.
Yep. Oak, I agree with you 100%. 5 out of 5 answers. It couldn't be any better. There's just no way. The crew that worked on this did an incredible job. It was delayed, but it was worth every second we had to wait for it.
Easy, 5 out of 5. I mean, the people always say, oh, you know, we get a second one and they throw their hands up in the air. Guys, this second installment delivers on every single level. No joke.
Was not
No
a
joke.
cash grab. Not a cash grab. Had the emotion, had the humor. They had you high, got you low. You know, should this be the first 20 of our movie reviews?
Is this the first time we've all agreed on 5?
I think
Might
this,
be all fivers right
Yeah.
now.
I
I'd
gotta
have to go
say
back and check.
4 point. I'm kidding. It is also 5 out of 5 answers from the answer himself.
Hey, we also got our pins and posters,
We got
folks.
amazing posters. So there you have it.
Go see it.
Here's a review of Top Gun Maverick. So for Appleton Oak, Mason Quinn, Diamond Dave, I'm of course the answer. And wait, John's the man in the hookup.
Get in here,
Here's
John.
our pal.
I told you we were going to have you in
John,
later.
The manager.
there.
His favorite movie, Parasite. We got it coming. It's in the can.
movie.
So thank you. Good night, pals.
I'm not even kidding. It might be the best movie of all time. Ever. It paid so much homage to the original and was so like intense and emotional and everything. It's the best movie of all time, I think.